Fan45 here, and today we'll be reviewing Vertigo, released in 1958, directed by Alfred Hitchcock, and starring James Stewart, Kim Novak, and Barbara de... I can't pronounce her last name. But yeah, the plot follows James Stewart, who is a out-of-work detective, who has one of his old friends call him up and tell him that he believes his wife is possessed. And I'll leave it at that, because I do not want to spoil anything about this film if you somehow have not seen it. Okay, so Vertigo. I've discussed my love for Hitchcock previously on this channel. While Vertigo is not my favorite Hitchcock, it's up there. Like, for me personally, at the moment, my favorite is probably Marnie or To Catch a Thief, but Vertigo is still like 5 out of 5. It's up there. In my opinion, it's like leagues above Psycho, but I also love Psycho, so take that with a grain of salt. But yeah, where to even begin with this film? So, one of the things I love about this film is every time I go back to rewatch it, I catch a tiny detail. So, there is a scene early on in the movie where he follows, I believe, I forget the Kim Novak, I'll just call her Kim Novak for now, to the flower shop. And there's a mirror reflecting Kim Novak. And you can take that in two ways that both symbolically make sense. Like, it's rare you find a movie where you can find a scene that ties... No, this doesn't just symbolically make sense. This, like, ties into the movie. Like, this is definitely, like, a real piece of symbolism. Like, there's no debating that, in my opinion. But you can take it one of two ways, and whichever way you take it changes the way you can see the movie going. Because if you take it one way, then, like, you really have to think about the rest of the movie. But if you take it the other way, you just understand something coming. But yeah, this movie is full of genius foreshadowing. But what do I even say about this? The camera work is some of the best you'll ever see. It's like craziness portrayed on camera. Where, like, so it starts off like calm and nice, but like if you pay attention, like in the background of like the diner, no, not the diner, the nice restaurant they go to eat at, where James Stewart is watching them, just like everything is completely chaotic in the background. And again, if you think about that symbolically, it makes complete sense. And I'm just realizing that now, because it starts off as a very surface level situation where you think that one person is crazy, and then it splits off and takes a different route, and then it splits off of that route, and then the big reveal comes. And the big reveal in this movie is one of the best things you will ever see. And I do not say that without, like, with any hyperbole. The reveal at the end of this movie is just like, I don't even know what to say about it. I mean, there's no way you can predict it. I'll say that. If you can predict the twist in this movie, good job. Like, great job. Because it goes from like a normal murder mystery to you think it's being solved to like crazy ending. But, oh yeah, and the ending. That ending, one of the best things you'll ever see. Again, visually, it's amazing. It has some callbacks to Black Narcissus, if you've seen that film, in the way it shoots the bell. But, I mean, what even is there to say about Vertigo? James Stewart gives probably my favorite performance of his here, because he just goes, like, completely off the wall. And it's rare you get to see James Stewart do that, because he's usually playing the nice character. But here he is. Well, okay, if you want to view it this way, he is the villain, but he's also the good guy, but he's not an anti-hero, if that makes sense. Because he's definitely not an anti-hero because of the ending, but he's just, like, completely morally ambiguous, because, like, he does some messed up things, but at the same time, like, some of it is justified, because he's just trying to save someone, but then, like, it's so big, it's hard to explain. Because, again, this movie starts off on, like, a really, really, really small scope. And, like, it's just a simple murder mystery. But then you start finding out that all this stuff ties into it. And that all these other characters are involved that you did not think were involved. Like a normal murder mystery. Except it all makes sense. Like, modern murder mysteries have this issue where, like, it'll just be completely random, out of nowhere villain. And, like, it'll just be for the, you didn't think it was them, did you? It was them. Here, it all ties together. Like, every single thing. Now, it takes a minute to comprehend what's happening. I'll give you that. Because, like, once James Stewart realizes what's up, and you know the scene where he realizes what's up. Really, really realizes what's up. Not thinks he realizes what's up. That scene is, again, like, one of the best things I've ever seen. Because as soon as he realizes, you just see, like, the look on his face change. And, like, and then that final scene. I want to spoil it so bad, but I'm not going to. But that final scene is, like, worthy of a 5 out of 5 alone. But, like, I don't really know where to even continue with this movie, because it's so iconic, and it's BFI's #1 movie of all time. Like, if that doesn't convince you to see it, you should see it. Now, is it... Well, if you're watching this channel and you haven't seen Vertigo, I would be shocked, honestly. But, like, I don't even know what to say, again, like, because it's hard to explain the allure of this movie, because, again, this is why I love it. It's not just a simple, like, murder mystery, where it's just like, oh, this person did it, the end. This movie, literally, I forgot exactly how long it is, but, so, right after everything is supposedly resolved, the movie keeps on going, and you don't quite know why. And then, at first, it's like, oh, they're just dragging out the ending. But then, you find out what's happening, and all of a sudden, everything you've seen previously, like, ties together. But, like, every little thing in this movie ties into it. Again, like, the use of mirrors, the use of coloring, the use of, like, doubles, if that makes sense. Like, the constant motif of a double. Like, you could even... This theory is out there, but you could, like, say Midge was involved in it, which is saying something, just because she looks similar to the wife. But, again, that's all without spoiling anything. But, like, once you start thinking about it, there are, like, massive implications throughout that, like, everything is planned out, but you just don't realize it the first time you watch it. This is a movie that is, like, background details galore, because, again, it starts off normal, but if you're paying attention in the background, everything is already off. Like, and if you notice, when James Stewart starts, like, figuring things out, things in the background, like, slowly start, like, getting less chaotic, till eventually you're at the final set, and it's just, like, normal. Sort of normal. But, like, this movie will give you a noir shock if you have not seen it. Vertigo is a classic. What more can I say about it? Vertigo is just like Vertigo's up there with Chinatown for like the greatest noir ever made. Now, does its ending rival Chinatown? I think it does. Chinatown's ending twist is great and all, but Vertigo cannot be beaten in terms of that, in my opinion. In terms of I haven't seen that many noirs, but I think from what I've seen, Vertigo probably tops it. But yeah, Vertigo, masterpiece. If you somehow haven't seen Vertigo, go watch Vertigo. I don't know why you wouldn't have seen Vertigo, but go watch Vertigo. But I would also recommend going to watch Rebecca with it. Rebecca is a little bit different, but it's also a noir, except for in a different way. See, Rebecca... No, how did I... Okay, so To Catch a Thief and Marnie, those are both masterpieces, but Rebecca is my favorite Hitchcock movie. I have the Criterion DVD, like, right next to me right now. But Rebecca is, like, top-notch stuff. If you haven't seen Rebecca, go watch Rebecca, too. I'll have a review out on Rebecca eventually, but, like, Rebecca, in my opinion, has some of my favorite atmosphere in, like, any movie. So, yeah, stay safe, and, again, if you somehow have not seen Vertigo, go see Vertigo. Because this review, if I went into spoilers, this review would have been, like, 30 minutes long. Because, like, there is so much to dive into and, like, explore in this movie. Because, again, there are so many routes you can take it. It's not just one way and it all makes sense. Because it all doesn't make sense. Because, okay, what happens in the end, like, makes complete sense. But there's stuff, like, subtly off in the background that, like, doesn't click with other things. But yeah, stay safe, stay quarantined, and have a good day.